The fall of Jerusalem. You know, it's so ironic, I call myself, as we go through these lessons, and how God have been telling the prophet to do certain things, and all, you know, it takes step by step, and then things start falling in place. You know, you already telling them how things was going to be, and had his prophet to tell them things, and it took a little while for some things, but as you go, it just fall in place, you know, and they had plenty of time to get right or to do what he said do. You know, I look at it as today as we live, you know, what he done told us, he allowed you plenty of time. But a lot of times we sometimes just neglected or just, well, I got plenty of time to do what I want to do. And sooner or later then it's right up on you. And then it's too late. You know, last week we studied how that Jeremiah, he got put down in the mud because he was telling the truth. In other words, the eunuch went to him and the king and told him what had happened, and he told him to get 30 men to go get Jeremiah out of the pit, out of the dungeon, out of the mud, and bring him to the inner court. And so the eunuch had said that, well, you know, they had dealt wrongly against Jeremiah. You know, sometimes other people watch things, how people treat other people. They might not say nothing, but they know it's not right. And a lot of times, you know, God, he always got a way of working things out. You know, it might not work out the way we want it to work out or how we think it should work out, but it always work out. And God got people, and he put people in place to help people in time of need. And so Jeremiah, after all the things were done, because he told the truth, that he was put into this situation. The princes of the king was saying Jeremiah was making the army weak and making the city weak because he was speaking what was going to happen. And so him, being the king, he turned his back and pretty much let them deal what they made with Jeremiah. And they wanted to see Jeremiah dead, but they didn't want to just kill him outright. They wanted to see him suffer and die. So today we'll be entering into chapter 29 and beginning with verse 1. 39. Thank you. I don't know why my head just ain't right. You know, 39. You're right.
It's too cold this morning.
Okay. The 9th year of Zedekiah, king of Judah, in the 10th month, Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, and all his army came against Jerusalem and besieged it. Now, it had been told this what was going to happen.
For a long time.
Yeah. You know, and they ignore it. This not going to happen, but here it is up on verse 2. In the 11th year of Zedekiah, in the 4th month, on the 9th day of the month, the city was penetrated. So the army got inside their gates, their walls, or whatever you might say, and thought doing what was said was going to happen way back. So they're backing up to verse 1. They besieged it. Now, what would that mean to you?
They surrounded it and put a, whatever you want to call it, a blockade around it. Yeah.
That's right. Stopped all incoming and outgoing. Yeah. It's good too. Yeah, that's what they did. And they wouldn't let nobody in, nobody out, no food or nothing. So, and they're going to stop them to them. Okay. In verse 2, it goes on to tell what month, what year, the month, and the day in the city that was penetrated. So they got inside the gate at that time. Okay. Will someone take verses 3 and 4, please?
And all the princes of the king of Babylon came in and sat in the middle gate. Even the earls shall Bosner, Shangarnelo, Cherishim, Rabsaris, Nergal, Shauzer, Rabmag, with all the residue of the princes of the king of Babylon. And it came to pass that when Zedekiah, the king of Judah, saw them and all the men of war, then they fled and went forth out of the city by night, by the way of the king's garden, by the gate betwixt the two walls, and he went out the way of the plain.
Okay. I didn't mean to put all them names on you, but I'm gonna be honest, I don't know how to pronounce it. So
Hey,
you did your best, you did. That's good. and I was thinking you might have just said, well, I skipped those names, but well, anyway, these people that was at the gate, in the middle of the, sat at the middle of the gate. All these names, and they were the princes of the king. So no sooner the trouble started, that's what they gathered themselves in the middle of the gate. And it goes on to verse 4, when Zedekiah the king and his men of war saw them, they fled and went out the city by night, by the way of the wall of the garden, by the gate between the two walls, and he went out by the way of the plain. So, okay, now Jeremiah had told them just to give themselves up. You know, in the previous study, we just give up, and that it'll be well with them. The Lord had already told Jeremiah that it'll be well with them if they gave up. You know, somebody come in and, hey, look, put your hands, I give up, whatever. But they tried to fight, and then they seen they couldn't win. Then they tried to run. And so, as we go on, we're going to tell what happened to them. But it would have been much simpler if they had just did what the Lord asked them to do in the previous chapter. Just go on, give up, because what the Lord has said was going to happen, and it's going to happen, they're going to take you. You know, the Lord was with King Nebuchadnezzar and his armies, the Chaldean. He was with them because he had turned them against them because of their own wicked ways that they was not doing right in his sight. And he caused the, I want to say, evil nation, the evil people to come in and take over. Because he gave them power to do it. We wonder sometimes why the Lord let these people do things like this. Persecute. Well, we've been studying why. And he let them do it because they turned against him. They would not keep his commandments. Any question or comment? Even today, we can sit back and do things or not do things that we know that we should do, and things come up on us because we didn't do what we know we could have done. Okay, Brother Carl.
Verse 4, you know, when push came to shove, you ran. So how much of a king are you really being when everything was going his way and he was relying on himself? You know, he was happy to be the king, and then he ran in the night. You know, like a coward, I guess.
Well,
pride and stubbornness.
yeah. Well, sometimes we as people, we don't want people to tell us nothing or tell you what's going to happen. Like, it's an old saying, like, you know what about it, not old saying, train up a child the way he should go and he will not depart from him when he get old. Now, if you do that, that's not saying the child not going to make no mistakes and nothing in life. That means that he's still going to do the best he can to live right and toward God. Now, if you don't do anything for this training him the way or she, the way that they should go, they're going to go one way or the other. And usually the bad way. You know, if you don't do your job, we can only do so much. You know, you can't make people do things, but you can do your part. Jeremiah did his part, even though it seemed like all odds was against him at all times. But by him doing his part, what he should have done, he gonna be compensated at the end. You know, he gonna be get treated by what you say other countrymen better than he was by his own folk. You know, a lot of times we might not understand it, but God got it all fixed out. We just had to do what we need to do. Okay. Verses 5. The Chaldean army pursued them and overtook Zedekiah in the plains of Jericho. And when they had captured him, they brought him up to Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon. Now, how you pronounce that word? I don't know. To Ribla? Okay. In the land of Hamath, where he pronounced judgment on him. So they caught up with him. He was running, the king. They caught up with him and all the princes and all the rest of them he had with him. Now, the Chaldeans and the Babylon army, they was tough. They didn't, like they said, don't spare no one. They would not spare you if that's what they wanted to do. And so they caught up with him, and they treated him harsh, and all the people that were with him. And I'm gonna let somebody else get this other part about you had to stand and watch your own child get killed. And so those people were pretty harsh. But this is what had been told to him if he fled, what was going to happen. Okay, will someone take verses number 6, please?
Then the king of Babylon killed the sons of Zedekiah before his eyes in Riblah. The king of Babylon also killed all the nobles of Judah.
Okay. All of them. All of his princes and his folks that was next in line for authority, that ran with him, they killed him. And he had to stand there and watch him. Okay. Number 7, please.
Moreover, he put out Zedekiah's eyes and bound him with bronze fetters to carry him off to Babylon.
Put his eyes out, and they took him back and put him in prison. In other words, he lived it. He was in prison until he died. Put his eyes out. And you can't see anything else. You got to be led about. And you was a king. You gave orders, you gave commandments, and all of a sudden, your power is worthless. You don't have any power anymore. You have power, but you do not have nothing anymore. And Brother Joe said it was pride. A lot of times when a person get up here, the pride gets so high, they don't want to come down. They don't want to armor themselves in no kind of way. Brother Carter?
So his kingdom is lost. He's lost his sons, and on top of that, his lineage. So, he knows there's no chance of any of his sons or his son's sons or anybody being king. And that was the last thing he saw before they took out his eye.
I wonder if he ever thought, I could have stopped this. I should have stopped this. Especially when your sons get killed in front of you.
I imagine while he's standing there watching all this stuff here, he probably did some thoughts probably ran through his head,
Remember what Jeremiah told him.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Will someone take verses number 8 and 9, please?
And the Chaldeans burned the king's house and the houses of the people with fire, and broke down the walls of Jerusalem. Then Nebuzaradan, the captain of the guard, carried away captive to Babylon the remnant of the people who remained in the city, and those who defected to him, with the rest of the people who remained.
Okay. So they burned all the houses in the city with fire and broke down the walls. So pretty much they destroyed pretty much almost everything. Except for a little, they didn't this totally, but they did most of it. As we read, we'll see that they left a little something, but the bigger deal was destroyed. And all this was still said. This is what was going to happen if they reigned. They could have saved their city and all the stuff in it. If they had the king, if he had armored himself to Nebuchadnezzar, he might have stayed in his own city. But he'd been on a captivity, but all of it wouldn't have been destroyed. Okay, the Miss Dorothy again, Neville Rubigan, that guard, okay, the captain of the guard, you know. So Nebuchadnezzar put him in charge, and he was a commander. He let him did what he saw fit at that time, and carried away to Babylon captivity the remainder of them who was in the city. So even Nebuchadnezzar, the king, he had a little compassion, seemed like, in a sense, you know, on some of the people. And again, I'm gonna tell you, that's what God had it put in place. You know, it don't say that in the read, but he always said he's gonna save a remnant. If you ever read anything about this, he's gonna save a remnant. And so Nebuchadnezzar, he let his captain of the guard determine what a lot was gonna happen. In verses 10, Nebuchadnezzar, the captain of the guard, left in the land of
The poor people, which was,
yeah,
you know,
the poor people who had nothing, and gave them vineyards, fields at the same time. So God got things fixed. You know, people that didn't have nothing, that been misused, abused, they end up with some things that the rich folks had. You know. And one thing about it, you know when the old saying, folks saying, when you get ready to die, that before they die, I ain't gonna let this happen, I ain't gonna let that happen. When you die, you can't stop nothing. All that you got gonna be left for someone else. And the best thing you can do is use wisely what you got. Because when you shut your eyes, you can't control anything. So it's gonna be someone else's. And that's what it was here. The poor people that didn't have nothing inherit things that only rich people had. Verse 11, then Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, gave charge concerning Jeremiah to Nebuzaradan, the captain of the guard, saying, take him and look after him, and do him no harm, but do to him just as he say to you. Now, how many times you're a prisoner, man? You being a prisoner, and someone gonna take a prisoner and tell him, his captain, his guard, to do what the prisoner say unto you. And don't do it first. Don't do him no harm.
I was going to say, that sounds like a bad deal, actually.
Yeah, don't do him no harm. But whatever this man say, even though it's prison, do unto him.
That's the captain of the guard.
Yeah. Nebuchadnezzar told the captain of the guard to do this.
One king is honoring,
Yeah.
and the king that should have been honoring didn't. So Nebuchadnezzar, the one that you certainly would expect to honor him, does.
Yeah. But that's the way God had it to work out all the time. You know, but this man had labored for God, Jeremiah. He had been abused, treated harshly. And at the end, per se, he was, even though he was a prisoner, he was treated good. So, I never know many places where there's someone in charge, or where, yeah, we have read a few, and I definitely say that, you know, Daniel. A lot more. The Lord had fixed it. Like I said, when the Lord fixed something, it fixed. Ain't nothing a man can do. Okay, will someone take 13 and 14, please? Or you ain't got those names that you I tell you what happened.
So Nebuzaradan, the captain of the guard, sent Nebuchadnezzar, Rabsaris, Nergal, Sharezer, Rabmag, and all the king of Babylon's chief officers. Read 14 too.
Yes.
Then they sent someone to take Jeremiah from the court of the prison and committed him to Gedaliah, the son of Achim, the son of Shaphan, that he should take him home. So he dwelt among the people.
So we're going to make sure that Jeremiah be taken care of.
Yep.
And those bagging up to verse 13, that those people that was in, the officers, what was going to happen to them. And Jeremiah was to be taken care of, you know, and put in good standing. But I would just like to, at the end of that chapter, stop at verse 14, but it got a few more verses goes along with that. If you have your Bible, chapter 39, and we're going to go up into verse 15 through the end of the chapter of that, if you have your Bible. 15, now when the word of the Lord came unto Jeremiah, while he was shut up in the court of the prison, saying, go and speak to Melech the Ethiopian. This says the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, behold, I will bring my word upon this city for evil and not for good. And they shall be accomplished in that day before thee. So he was letting them know. He sent the word to Jeremiah. He was shut up in the court of the prison to go and speak to Everlech, the Ethiopian. You know, remember Everlech, the Ethiopian?
He made it through the sieging of the city, so he came along too. He didn't get killed.
Yeah. And it was after God. You know why? He went to the king in the behalf of Jeremiah when they had put him in the dungeon and the mud up to his shoulder. And he knew that he was going to die. See, that's what I'm saying about God always got a way of working things out. If you do what he say, he got a way of helping you, helping the people he sent you to talk to. He going to always take care of his own. Then he goes on, verse 17, but I will deliver thee in that day, saith the Lord, and thou shalt not be given into the hands of the men whom thou art afraid. For I will surely deliver thee, and thou shalt not fall by the sword, but thy life shall be a prey unto thee, because thou hast put thine trust in me, says the Lord. There it is, this plain as you can get. Because they put their trust in him, the Lord going to take care of it. And it's the same for us today. Don't care what we go through, what forced upon us, or what we put ourselves into, the Lord, if you trust in him, he's going to protect you, and he's going to bring you through. Don't care what it is. Sometimes it can look real dark, but he always got a way if you follow him. Any question or comment on any of this stuff that we went over, so forth? Now, we remember that Jeremiah, at the beginning of the chapter of Jeremiah, in the beginning, chapter 1, I think it was told by Jeremiah what he did. If he did not do the word of the Lord, what would happen to it? And but he did, and now it's going to be well with him. You know, there's a lot more things going to come up, but you know, it's real good when you done fought a battle for so long, and seem like you didn't know which way it's going to turn, and all of a sudden you start seeing light. You know, and Jeremiah, I'm gonna say, was one that persevered, as I say. Don't care how tough it got, he just hung in there. And sometimes we think we are the only one going through things when stuff happens, but there's a lot of other people going through the same things, sometimes worse than you are. You know,
We
you
need some
might,
more Jeremiah's this go around. We need some more men
yeah,
saying, yes, I know what you're going through or what we as a country will be going through.
yeah.
You know, God's not gonna lead us down that path by ourselves. So I think we need to start having more Jeremiah's in our country.
Oh, yeah.
And,
We do need
we got
that.
some rough times ahead of us.
Yeah. And I tell you what, you know, when it get rough, you know, the old saying, you know, when they make an iron and whatever, you purify it, the stuff, the silver, the stuff that ain't no good, float to the top, whatever. You get that off, and then the good stuff still down there. But you're right. We need men and women that are gonna stand with whatever the Bible say, and whether you like or not, God gonna be with you. You know, a lot of men may not, but He always gonna have somebody there to help you, regardless. Okay, we'll turn to the question part of this chapter on page 80, and verse 1 on the question: how many months did the Babylonians siege of Jerusalem last? How long did that?
18, next a year and a half.
Okay.
18 months.
That's a long time
Yeah.
to be locked in prison. You know, it was a city, but they were in a prison because they couldn't get out, couldn't get in.
Yeah. You know, a lot of times, our warfare now is pretty much the same, but it just works a little different. Back then, you know, that's what they'll do. They'll lock the city down. Nobody can get in and out. And which Pat said, they'll starve you out. You can't get water, food in there, and soon you're gonna get weak. You can't fight. You're gonna give up sooner or later.
Sick.
Okay. Number 2. Where did the princes of Babylon congregate after the walls of Jerusalem was breached?
The gate.
Yeah, in the middle of the gate. Yeah.
They could see everything.
Mm-hmm. Okay. What did Zedekiah do when Jerusalem fell? Took off. he took off, man. I'm getting out of here. Yeah, he ran. Okay. What did the Babylonians do to Zedekiah when he was captured? It says in verse 6 and 7.
They treated him wrong, killed all of his kids, and put that up in the prison.
That's right. Yep. Which Babylonian captain was given the responsibility over seizing Jerusalem destruction? That was that guy. Yeah. Okay. You know, Nebuchadnezzar gave him the charge, but before he said, at the last, that he told him to do whatever he think was right and was sin, and then at the end about Jeremiah, he told him, don't do him no harm. Okay. 6. Cities of Jerusalem were not deported by Babylon. Deposed. Yeah.
Poor people that they, and actually they kind of kept them there and said, here, it's yours to rebuild it. Now, we tore it down, but you can,
It's yours now.
yeah, have this vineyard. You don't have a house to live in, but you can have a vineyard.
Yeah. Okay. Who charge was Jeremiah left?
Nebuchadnezzar.
Yeah. Okay. So
No, was it?
no, that was his song.
That Gildea.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, because he told him to take him home with him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Why do individuals rebel against God's word? It's simple.
Plenty of reasons.
Because they want to.
That's stupid.
Yeah. What can be done to reach those who are rebellious?
All you can do is show them, stuff like this, and say, look, you can obey God's word or not, but it's gonna happen. And try to get them to understand that they will actually come out better in the long run if they do obey it.
Yeah,
And whether you disagree with them or not, that's up to them, all you do is right.
that's right. Since you said that, Brother Danny, the gospel, a lot of people say the same thing. You said the key thing is up to them. It's your job to put it out there. It's up to them to receive it and do it. Mm-hmm. Okay? What does this message teach us about God?
He's true to his word.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And he gives chances.
Yeah. Yeah, opportunity after opportunity. People say, well, a lot of times, well, he was young or she was young and life left too soon. But who knows what opportunity God had already gave them, And it just, today, we come here every Sunday, most of us, and each day the Lord able you to get up. You're not doing it on your own. He able you to get up. You got another day in which if you have done something wrong to make it right. You don't have to wait till on Sunday or Wednesday. Each day, he able you to get up. And you're in the right frame of mind or whatever. If you ain't in the right frame of mind, you know that you need to make it right. You got that opportunity then. And time again, he give us opportunity. Yeah.
I saw a saying one time that said, I won't be the type of Christian that when my feet hit the floor today, says, oh man, he's up again.
It's another fight. You got to keep fighting. Okay. Why do you think the Babylonians dealt kindly with Jeremiah? Anybody?
Well, their king told them to, but then again, he did, because he told them in his God's prophet.
Yeah.
He didn't want to do what he said. He respect and honor him.
Well, and one thing was said also, I was reading in the commentaries about similar to the same thing that maybe Nebuchadnezzar had already heard of Jeremiah, or some of his people in leadership had heard of Jeremiah and told him what Jeremiah had been doing or trying to do.
Yeah.
And that's maybe why he had compassion on him or whatever. But I still know what the act of God and come down to it. Okay, Colin.
This stuff may have happened in a vacuum. There are people who go to different places, so the Babylonians may have heard all the things going on. They may have had spies. There's all kinds of stuff like that. So they could have known, about Jeremiah.
And Jeremiah had been telling him they ought to just go on and obey this new king
Yeah.
and work with him. And it could be that he heard that, he was actually speaking for him.
Yeah. Yeah.
That goes back to saying, if you find yourself a slave to a master, you should do the best job you can possibly do for that master. I know sometimes that can be real tough, especially if he makes it tough. It talks about you're supposed to be the best you can be, and if he's tough on you, then he's breaking the law too, as far as, the law of God. To tell a slave master, be good to your slaves.
And if he's being cruel to you, what you said, he gonna have to deal with God.
That's right.
For not doing right.
That's exactly right.
And so that's a good point for us. A lot of times we might not be treated right or fair by other people, but he gonna have someone to judge him too by his action and what he been doing.
And no matter how he justifies it or how he said, oh, they're not right or whatever,
That's right. Okay. What can we learn from their action of mercy? Just from the king of Babylon.
Basically, if you do what you're supposed to, God he'll take care of you.
That's right.
He told him while he was in prison, even before they got there, while he was still in the court of prison. This is what's gonna happen, but don't worry, you'll be taken care of. They're not gonna hurt you. So if you do what he says, he'll take care of you.
That don't mean you ain't gonna get ridiculed sometime or talk harshly to or treated unfair sometime. But
Probably still go through some hard times.
in the end result,
Take care of you.
He gonna take care of you. Okay. What can we learn from Zedekiah's failure to attempt to flee? The fate of Jeremiah's predicted. Well,
That's what the Bible says will happen to us when we do certain things that it might not happen right now, but it's going to happen.
it's coming.
It's coming, it's going to.
Gonna catch up with you. Some kind of form or way or fashion. It'll be caught up to you. You know, it just like, you know, a person done murdered or killed someone, he think he done got away. He might get away for several years. All of a sudden, someone will come and say, well, I remember when he done that, I saw it. And, you know, it was a fire. Jeremiah says when, you know, he tried to get away from the Lord, but a fire just shut up in his bone. And he had to say, a lot of times people see things and they know things that happen and they try to stay out of it or but God keep working with them so that they have to come out with it, you know. They can't keep holding it in. When you do right, that's the best thing you can do. That's all I can say. It is not easy all the time, but you'll get rewarded for it.